Alright guys, Dan Fresh here with the second video for today. Hanging out here in the Evo right now. I was going to go over just a couple of things for basics on tuning. So don't expect to see a whole lot visually wise in the video. It's just going to be me mainly just talking about what I know so far. I don't claim to be the best, as far as knowing what to do, as far as tuning and everything goes. I have owned the car for a little over 5 years, so I do know, and I've tuned it on bolt-ons, went back to stock for a couple of personal reasons, and then went back to full bolt-ons, and I've kind of gone through the cycle of a couple different tunes. So this is just going to basically be me going over my experiences and what I've done. So first off, the first tune I did was just the basic Cobb V2 when that was out. That was before the V3 was out. And I just did the off-the-shelf map. It ran okay, definitely had more power than stock, but I wouldn't recommend running an off-the-shelf map from Cobb. Just because you can you can buy somebody's dyno tune or road force tune, for just a couple $100, and it'll run much better. It's going to be tuned for the fuel for your area. It's going to be tuned for your climate, all that stuff. And I think it's just going to make the car run a lot better. I have had issues with fuel, especially in this area that I live in currently. That's kind of why I bring up making sure you get the proper tune for the right area. My first tune was done in Southern California by 5150 Racing. Very good company. I don't want to bag on them at all. I just have to say that personally, my experience with them online hasn't been the greatest. They respond, but it doesn't seem like they're very willing to adjust tunes via email and whatnot. So I had switched over to Rick at Road Race Engineering. Look them up. Look them up on Facebook. Their website. You can open a ticket with them online to get your car tuned, and he does all kinds of makes and models, not just Evos. And he works with totally different open source tunes, and then also Cobb APs and possibly a couple other programmers that I'm not aware of. But for right now, I'm running his open tune. When I was running the 5150 tune, I had them install a bunch of parts down in Southern California, and when I came up here for right afterwards, and I was running the fuel here, I kept throwing the check engine light, and it just wasn't running good. It was popping a lot, which, I mean, obviously sounds cool, but it's not right when it's happening constantly. And it was happening like every shift, and it was just popping like crazy. And then, like I said, at full throttle, it'd flash the check engine light, notifying me that it's knocking. And that was done on a dyno tune in Southern California off Southern California fuel. So when I came up here to Northern California and the fuel was different, which was probably even worse than Southern California fuel, which is already bad. And then also due to probably climate change, I can't guarantee that was a factor, but it definitely didn't help. And it just did not run like it should have. So I had it retuned by Rick. He did it all through email, very helpful, and I did it through what's called an open source. And basically, you need a laptop. You don't need a wideband. It's recommended, so I have one here. I still have yet to install it in a proper location, but it just sits there nice and snug. I mean, it moves a little bit, but it doesn't rattle or anything. And I have an open exhaust, so I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't rattle. Sorry for the camera, guys. I know that it keeps trying to focus and whatnot. I'm just using my cell phone for this, which I know isn't the greatest, but, kind of using what I got. Anyways, back to what I was saying. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. So I'm using the open source, like I said. I have the wideband gauge. You need to get a connector from STM that hooks into your laptop in order to read the information off of it and submit it into your log files. But there's a couple of programs that you use for this, and one is EvoScan, which allows you to data log. You do have to buy a subscription from them, and then also you would need a Tactrix cable, it's called. Look it up. They have them specifically for different vehicles. And basically it plugs into your OBD2 and then uploads information live onto the Evo scan for you. And then you're going to just do a couple of different runs on the freeway that he wants to see. You're going to do some pulls, you're going to do some cruising, you're going to do idling, and a couple of different other things. And he's going to take all that information and create a tune for you. Now, it's not just a one run thing. He's going to take all your modification lists that you send to him. He's going to send you a starter file that he thinks is going to start the car off right, and then you're going to keep sending him logs, and he's going to continue to build off that log. Usually by log 3, maybe 4, he'll have you completely dialed in, and the car will run just awesome. If you do have access to a local dyno tuner, go for that. It's going to make life a lot easier. You might not even need a wideband or anything. They could probably provide all that for you for the run and then get it done for you. But yeah, dyno tuning, if it's available to you, go for it. They can do as many runs as they need to. You don't have to be involved. There's no user error that way. It's all just between the tuner and the car, and they'll get it right the first time. And then there is also the Cobb AP, the access port. It's a great device. Some tuners don't recommend using it. 5150 told me it was garbage. I don't know why. From all I understand is there might be something to do with the tuning tables that you can't do. There might be not as much information they can mess with. I'm not quite too sure, guys. But I don't see a problem with it. My current tuner, Rick at Road Race Engineering, uses them all the time. And it seems to be a great tuner. It's very easy to use, gives you lots of information. How accurate the information is, I can't tell you. I have no idea. But I don't discourage you using the Cobb AP. It'll make it a lot easier. You won't have to run the STM cable or a wideband or anything. At least to my knowledge, he just runs off the data that the Cobb sends him, and he's able to adjust it. I have sent him quite a bit of business. I have probably about 3 or 4 friends running off his tunes, all different makes and models, not just Evos. There's Subarus and BMWs and all kinds of stuff, and a couple other Evos, and they love it. They have no issues, and those cars were up here as well. They run great. So yeah, you might want to go check him out. But as far as tuning goes, what parts need to be tuned, you can run a catback exhaust without a tune. You can run an intake, from what I understand. You can run one just fine without a tune. I personally would say just go with the filter and an inlet tube, keep the stock box, but I've never heard of anybody having major issues with just an intake. You will want to upgrade your fuel relay if you're on an older model. I think the newer models have an upgraded fuel relay, but that can cause your engine to blow, from what I understand. I haven't run into that issue, but I upgraded it just to be safe. So you can go online and get the upgraded fuel relay for the Evo 10. It's real easy. You just pull it out, plug it in right into the hood. But yeah, as far as other bolt-ons needing a tune, I don't know if you'd necessarily need one from the intercooler. I think you could be okay with the intake, intercooler, and catback. If you delete the cat or go to a high-flow cat, you definitely need one. If you get a downpipe, you definitely need a tune. If you're going to do the intercooler pipes, I think you'll be fine on those. Now, like I said, on the intercooler, I'm not quite too sure. I would do it just to be safe, but I know on the pipes you'd be fine, because they're just, they're not really changing the dynamics much, because you're still going to boost the same amount of boost. But yeah, guys, so as far as catback, exhaust, intake, and maybe your intercooler pipes, you should be completely safe. But if you're going to do anything more extensive, downpipes, test pipes, intercoolers, all that stuff, I definitely recommend getting a tune. If you want to switch fuels like E85 or race gas, definitely get a tune. But yeah, guys, as far as my experience has been, that's everything that I know. If you have any other questions for me, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to answer them. I'm having a lot of fun talking to you guys. We're crawling towards 100 subscribers pretty quickly here, and that's really exciting to me. So if you guys, like I said, if you have any questions or comments or think I said something wrong, let me know. I'd love to be corrected, because I'm always learning more. But other than that, guys, you have a great day. Sorry the video quality isn't the greatest, but it's mainly just for me talking. But other than that, guys, 100 subscribers soon. Give me a like, share it around, and thanks a lot, guys, and you have a great day.